Good morning, or whatever time it is where you are watching. Today we have something a little bit different. Today I am going to review a new kettle. So I have been eyeing up, oh, this thing is as big as I am. I've been eyeing up different kettles or different tea making machines that have a temperature control. And there's one in particular that I really have my eye on, but it's like £90 and I'm not about spending that money. Also, it doesn't come out until May. But I just had absolutely enough. I couldn't do it anymore. Every morning when I make my matcha, I boil the kettle and then I guess at when it's going to be 80 degrees. That's really not the best. I really wanted one of these kettles that you can do a temperature gauge on it. And so I went on Amazon, good old trusty Amazon. And I'm sure there's lots of you out there who really enjoy tea, who want to be able to control the exact temperature at which you are heating your water, because it's not boiling if it's not 100 degrees. But you just don't know what to get that's affordable. So I'm going to open this up, give it a test, and tell you what I think. So this is the Alcok electric kettle model. I'll link the model. I'll write it in the description. So Home Essentials Live Comfortable. Okay, that doesn't make sense. This came pretty quickly. Okay, so as a standard kettle, it comes with a base. It's actually quite a nice base. Oh, and it does have more cord wrapped around the bottom, so you can make it shorter or longer. That's quite a nice touch because my other kettle currently just has wires for days. Oh, free extra 24 months limited warranty. You just have to register online, so that's pretty handy. Oh, and she's pretty. It's got a really easy just button on the top that pops it up. This takes up to 1.7 litres. So you've got your on button, set, keep warm, and then the different functions that it already has. So 100 degrees for black tea, 80 for your matcha, and so on and so on. Okay, so let's try this out because I haven't actually had my morning matcha yet. I have been waiting to open this so I can get the perfect 80 degree water. All right, I'll meet you in the kitchen. I have read the instructions and it recommends you to boil an entirely full kettle twice and discard the water before using for drinking. So that's what I'm now doing. So it is quite easy to use. You press the on button and then you set it to the temperature you want. So I want 80 degrees for my matcha, and then you leave it and it boils. It's pretty simple. And once it's reached the temperature that you want, this will start flashing to tell you that you can keep it warm at this temperature. So we do now have our perfect 80 degree cup of matcha, and I'll go over a few things that I found with the kettle itself. So you might be able to tell this is not the same day, it's not even the same week. We're about a week and a half later. I realised when I was editing that I hadn't articulated myself properly the first time, and I wanted to give this kettle justice because, in summary, I love it. I love this kettle. It's super easy to use, it's affordable, and it feels nice. Like, it's got a really nice grip to it and a curvature of the hand. It feels sturdy in my hand. It's a full kind of grip for me personally in comparison to, say, my other kettle, which is just a bit thinner and a bit more flimsy in the hand. It's not a full hand grip. So for me, this one feels really nice. The buttons are super easy to use. So you just turn it on and then you set it to the temperature you want, and the light appears above whichever temperature you do. And then once it's boiled, this keep warm flashes at you. So the only thing is it will not keep warm at 100 degrees. That would mean that it is constantly boiling. Once it's hit 100, the light will instantly go to the 90 degrees and it will keep warm at this temperature. But for all of the others, it will keep warm at the temperature you chose. So for the keep warming at boiling, it's really not that much of an inconvenience, I find, because it's already at 90 degrees. So it will keep at 90 degrees. If you want to reboil it, then it doesn't take very long at all to get that extra 10 degrees. I don't think that's a problem at all. What I don't particularly like about this kettle is that it doesn't make a noise when it's boiled. So with my standard cheap kettle, you flip it down, and when it's done, you'll hear that noise. This kettle doesn't make a noise. The only way you can tell that it has boiled is that, well, if it's at 100, the light will go down to 90, and if it's on any of the others, the keep warm will start flashing. So you kind of have to keep more of an eye on it, but because it keeps warm, if you forget and you come back 5 minutes, it'll still be at the temperature that you want it at. So again, that's not a deal breaker for me. For the price point that it is, I think it's really good quality for money. So this cost me £34. The tea machine that I did have my eye on from Brew, 1U, not 2, not like the subscription I've been doing, it's currently at £95 and it's meant to retail at something like $148. So it's ridiculously expensive. It's so much more expensive than this. This is £34. It is quite expensive for a kettle. This cheap one from Tesco cost me $12, but the convenience in it is a whole nother level. I love being able to wake up 80 degrees, matcha, perfect. I don't have to boil my kettle and then wait for ages guessing. I'm not burning my leaves because I'm not waiting long enough. I can make multiple cups of tea in one standing, essentially, that require different temperatures. So I can do a sensitive white at 70 degrees, pour the water out for that one, and then I can do it instantly to 100 and pour it out for a black. It's so simple and convenient. Another thing that I thought was gonna be an issue, but isn't actually an issue for me anymore, is that this part that tells you how much water you have in is actually a separate component. This is a plastic part to itself, and there's a little spout right here that lets the water in and the air come out as it's filling. So when I first got it, there was a bit of adjustment with the air in there. Now that I've used it a few times, it does read correctly. But again, if you're holding it at a slight angle, like with this, if I was holding this at an angle and I'm filling, as soon as I put it straight, it's going to read differently. So as when I do this and it reads differently straight away, with this you have to allow for the air to escape from its pocket, and then it will tell you the correct temperature, not the correct water level. So you have to bear that in mind, but it's not a deal breaker for me. If you want something that's instant, it tells you, then maybe you do want something else. But a lot of the other temperature control kettles that I saw out there, especially ones on like Amazon and stuff, you're going £50 upwards, and I don't see that they actually do anything more than this one does. This one does exactly as I want it to do. It feels good, it works, it's 1.7 litres, so it's a sizable kettle. My cheap one is 1.5, so you can actually, it's a little bit bigger. I think that's everything that I do have to say. I hope that I have weighed up the good and bad for you. If you had any other questions on this, then drop them below. I'd be happy to answer them if I can. If you are interested in any other reviews on teaware or equipment that is good for a tea enthusiast, then let me know that down below as well, and I can do more videos for you. If you like this, please give it a thumbs up. I would love to have you as a subscriber. I'm really hoping to hit 100 subscribers, maybe soon. Anyway, I really hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you next time. All right.